So I thought I'd show you the chicks again. They're really developing very nicely. The white ones are the Brahmas, the dark ones are the ones that we incubated. Of course, we have these down here, and all of these are the ones that we incubated. So we have a total of 22 birds now, and we have a few flies in the house today. They've been trying to catch them. It's kind of cute to watch. It's a job. It's something to do. I mean, it gets a little messy in here, and I have to sweep up every day, but it's just part of the life. The green acres, you know, the chickens roaming around in the house, I guess. But they're not too bad. Carolyn cleans out these cages about every other day, maybe every 3 days. She tries to put extra straw in here, and we notice that when she puts extra straw in there, it doesn't need it cleaned quite as frequently. At least that's our opinion. I'm not telling you that's what you should do. So I think she cleaned it the day before yesterday, maybe, and then she's going to clean it in the morning. And it's not too much work. I mean, it's a job, and she puts a lot of care into it. She cleans the feeders and she cleans the waterer. I'm not sure I would put that much effort into it. But then they grow up, and then they go outside, and then I take over the job, and I feed them every day, and make sure they're closed up, clean out their pen. So Carolyn, she spends somewhere around an hour and a half every 3 days to clean that out. And then I feed them daily. The food is down in the camper, so I just go down and get a coffee can of food and bring it up and feed them. And I do that right before they go to sleep at night. And then as far as me going down to take care of the other chickens, I've started going down 3 or 4 times a day. I forget how many times. I got the alarm set so I don't forget, to gather eggs, because the chickens started eating their own eggs, and we wanted to put a stop to that. I think we have put a stop to that, but I'm still going down there to get the eggs. I don't want them to get back into that habit. So per day, I don't know, we may spend, let's just call it a good hour dealing with chickens. I get up in the morning, I open up the chicken coop, I go back down there, close up the chicken coop before I go to bed, feed them, water them. It's just not a lot of work. I got an email the other day explaining to me that chickens are not worth the effort. There's just too much time put into them, too much care. And I find it kind of interesting that I would get a comment like this, because chickens give us food. They give us eggs, they give us chicken meat. Now, I know that a lot of people will say eggs do not pay for themselves, and I completely disagree. If you were to go buy eggs at the store and say, okay, these eggs are replacing the eggs I buy at the store, then no, they don't pay for themselves. But when they replace peanut butter and bread, they do pay for themselves. I was eating 3 sandwiches a day of peanut butter and bread. Well, bread is $3 a loaf. You get 2 or 3 loaves a week, you're up to $6, $9. I can eat eggs all week long for what, $1 maybe? I don't even think it's $1. It's about $14 to feed all the chickens for 2 weeks. So yeah, it's about $1 a day. This is a massive savings. And the thing is the peanut butter, I'm finding out, was very unhealthy for me. You're eating bread, you're eating carbohydrates. Now, I know there are people out there who are just convinced that carbohydrates are good for them. But your body changes carbohydrates into sugars. Somebody told me, Rob, it's no big deal. As much work as you do around the house, you need the energy. What they don't realize is I don't need the carbohydrate energy because I'm eating protein, and meat and all that provides all the energy you need. The only time you need carbohydrates is if you're not getting enough substance into your body. Meat provides all that. The other thing is when I was eating carbohydrates, noodles and rice, peanut butter and bread, you would be hungry in a few minutes later. That's what I find so ironic, is people will say, no, Rob, you're wrong, you got to have carbohydrates. But then we'll make fun of Chinese food. I've heard so many times in my life, and I'm sure I'm quoting it wrong, that you go to Chinese food and an hour later you're hungry again. All you can eat, buffet, and you're hungry again, right? So I eat an egg. So now I eat what 3 or 4 eggs for lunch, and sometimes I'm not even all that hungry for supper. I eat because if I don't eat, then by bedtime I am hungry. Eggs can't keep me going for that long. So it's a huge cost savings to raise chickens. And for what? A couple hours a day? The alternative is I go back and get a job. And I'm not sure I want to get a job. I've told you many times in the past that if I go get a job, then I'm going to have to work 14, 12, 16 hours a day. That's what I was doing in the past. But now I don't have to work that hard. I make money off YouTube, make any money that I can on the side. I don't have to work that hard. I'm making plenty of money. Everything's paid for. The house is paid for, the property's paid for, the truck's paid for. So I have no bills. Everything can go bad in my life, everything. And I still get to keep everything. Now somebody's gonna say, oh, you don't know about taxes, and now those taxes, they'll run you broke. You don't own your house. Taxes are $24 or something like that per year for this place. The truck taxes, on the other hand, are quite high. I think they're up in the $200 range, $300 range, somewhere around there. So yeah, the truck is expensive, but the property isn't. So if they come and take the truck because I can't afford the truck taxes, fine. I mean, I can walk. But again, I got everything I need here where I don't even need the truck that much. So the truck takes gas, all that kind of stuff. It's a high cost item, but the property isn't. And the property is paying for itself. It actually produces things we can use. Carolyn's got the garden, and we're still trying to develop that. I know people think that I got to do all kinds of stuff and spend money. I said that in yesterday's video. But we're taking it one step at a time, seeing where we need to go. I'm glad we didn't spend way too much money like everybody suggested. You know, building raised garden beds and bucket planters and all these things, because it looks like the tomatoes are going to recover. It looks like they're going to make it. So I thought they were going to die. But I don't think the chickens are that much work. The thing that surprises me is the amount of money as people will put into their pets, their dogs and their cats. I mean, that's a huge industry. People feeding their dogs and cats. The dogs have to be in the house for the most part nowadays. There are tons of laws regarding dogs. Can't leave dogs out in the winter. You know, all kinds of things that you'll hear. I mean, I don't know. I would, if I had a dog, it would be in the house, but I don't think a lot of areas will let you have dogs outside now. It's got to be fenced in, just all kinds of requirements. Got to be on a leash. But the chickens primarily take care of themselves. Now, what I think has happened is in the past I said chickens are easy to take care of. And I think what people actually heard was, I don't have to do anything to take care of chickens, they take care of themselves, which they do. I don't have to really do anything with them other than the couple hours a day spending with them. Raising them from hatchlings is a little bit more work than just letting them sit down there throughout the day collecting their eggs and giving them some food and water. But they're just not that much effort. There are not a lot of laws in this area, obviously, to raise chickens. And more municipalities are allowing people to raise chickens. Now, I've said this before, and I think a lot of people agree with me, so I don't understand the argument that they're just too much work. Imagine in a year, store shelves start emptying more and more and more. I think we all kind of know this is going to happen. I think down in our gut, even if we're not conspiracy theorists, we know that the shelves are going empty, and there doesn't seem to be much of a plan to fix things. Our president just got on a late night talk show and said, we don't understand all the good stuff he has done. So he doesn't understand why his poll numbers are so low, other than he's not communicating how well he has done. That's kind of what he said. Well, that's fine. So when I go to the store, I expect to see the shelves full. I expect to see prices coming down. When we go to the gas station, I expect to see the gas prices come down. But I'm not. It's the exact opposite. So I think we all can agree that things are going badly. If next year the shelves are empty, will this person who emailed me be telling me that it's too much work to raise chickens? Or will he be starving to death, going out in his backyard, digging up worms, trying to find enough food to feed him and possibly his family? That's a lot more work when you're trying to catch up and everything is already depleted. Gas prices are so high you can't go and get a chicken coop or build a chicken coop. Prices are so high that you can't even buy the materials to get the chicken coop. I mean, right now prices are high on materials as it is. And then we're going to add on more inflation, more empty shelves. So I think it's a mistake to say it's too much work. They're not that much work, and especially if you already raise animals, dogs and cats, I think are a lot more difficult to take care of. I raised dogs. Actually, I bred dogs for a while, golden retrievers. I know there's a lot of information out there that people don't like you breeding dogs, but I did. This was back in the early 2000s, and that was a lot of work. I mean, it was constant care. We had 2 males inside the house. They were our pets. I guess they were all kind of pets, but then we had a dog pen. It was a building that I had to build, and I would have to go out there several times a day. Of course, they were potty trained, so they'd have to come out and go potty, and you have to exercise them, make sure they got plenty of exercise every day. And this was like almost a full-time job, it seemed like. And it was a lot more work than the money that we got out of them. Selling the puppies, I don't think we ever got ahead on that. And so, I mean, we eventually just gave up. We sold the dogs, the females, we kept the males. And so you lost money, there was nothing to gain, the food costs were extremely expensive, the shots, the tag in the back, you had to do all that. Dogs take a lot of care. I think sometimes people make these comments, they want an excuse not to have to do it. That there's gotta be an easier way to live life. So if you can click that super thanks button down there at the bottom, I really appreciate it. So I hope I can inspire you to find the easy life. Thanks for watching.